And we're going.
Right now?
Yeah.
All right, yo. What's good? What's going on, crackheads? We back at it again with another podcast, and looks like we're talking about Flashpoint this time, mixing it up, going from Marvel to DC.
Yeah. One of the most cracked characters in DC.
My favorite character, in fact.
Yeah, same here. Like, he's too broken to be a character.
hmm
Okay, let me pull up a list of his abilities real quick. The
What's a starting point? How do you want to do this? You want to explain how it started, or do you want to go with?
Well, we could talk about the origin and then go from there to the Flashpoint.
Okay, okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, there's so many different adaptations of it. Some shitty, some really, really good ones.
Okay.
um, I
Um,
guess the origin.
Real quick, do you want to just go through his powers? Because I'm looking at his powers from the comics, and what the fuck am I looking at?
I
um,
mean, we can.
okay, so I've got 20 powers here. We'll go through them. Some are familiar. I don't even know the first one. Didn't even realize this was a thing. Power. Speed speak is often used as a source of comedy but can be useful part of a speedster's toolkit. When a speedster travels at super speed, they can think, hear, and speak at professionally fast levels. The skill can come in handy when speedsters wish to be secretive in both presence of friends and foes. Actually, I knew that one. I just didn't know it was called speed speak. In one of the animated movies, Wally West and Barry Allen speak so fast that even the Reverse Flash couldn't keep up.
That makes sense.
So, speed speak, yeah, I just thought that was just him being fast. Um, then we got voice changing, which, yeah, he did it in the CW show, where he changes his voice. Um, Solid constructs. Um, Throughout the years, DC has greatly expanded the Speed Force and its utility in battle. It stopped being the thing that makes the Flash run fast a long time ago. Nowadays, the Speed Force can physically manifest in many ways.
Variant, variety.
Yeah, include all physical constructs. It seems that Barry don't have this power often, but it certainly is used to Wally West. Oh, okay, yeah, because Wally West uses the Speed Force to literally build his suit around him every time he puts it on.
Yes, sir.
And we saw a little bit in the CW show near the end of the Flash when Wally West was creating like sunflowers out of the palm of his hands, like lightning and stuff.
I mean, I think you saw that.
Oh yeah, I saw that. We've got tornadoes and vacuums, which yes, we know that one.
hmm
Run on water and walls. Yes, air cushion. That's just when he uses his arms to spin air. They can cushion people's falls with it. We saw that a lot in the animated show and the TV show.
This
Resistance to telepath.
telepathic
Yeah,
control. That one's a new one. I didn't know that he could do that.
I knew it was just because they didn't view it a lot in the CW show. Like they didn't even recognize that he can be invulnerable. Well, not invulnerable to telepathic attacks. His brain can think so fast that anyone trying to control him can't keep up.
That makes sense.
But the CW show never, made sense of it. But the animated, all the animated movies and shows did let people know that the Flash could not be telepathically controlled. I think Brainiac tried to and had a seizure or something like that at one point, trying to control the Flash. Um, Speed Force sharing.
Basically giving other people the speed force powers. Yeah, I think I know about that one.
The descriptions of Barry Allen, Speed Force vampire question mark. He can. So yeah, this is a power that Barry gets later on. Very later on in the comics, at least. Where he can literally absorb the power of the speedster next to him or close to him, and take away their power completely for a certain amount of time, and using their entire speed force to boost himself.
Yeah, I know about that.
I do believe Godspeed did that with all the speedsters except Barry and Alan. Barry, Wally,
Barry and
and
Wally.
Jay, I think it was. That they were the three speedsters, and Barry had to absorb Wally's and Jay's speed to catch up with Godspeed to a degree. Which, is messed up. We've got speed reading, which we knew that. Time remnants and self duplication.
Are you reading off his CW powers or just powers in general?
Powers in general, like 20 of
Okay,
the powers.
so this is like what, like the wiki?
Yes, to a degree. The source I'm getting it off is like a comics website that just goes through all the stuff. Like I can look at his abilities, characteristics. I can look at his timeline. But I scrolled down it. It's massive. But yeah, we'll stick with his powers for now because the timeline of the Flash goes on for over 60 years. So I'm good on that. But yeah.
Done about right.
Time remnants and self-duplication. Broken power, by the way. We don't really see it in animated shows. We saw a little bit in the CW show, but it was only one time remnant at a time. But in the comics, I think there was one version when Barry created 20 of himself. And the original Barry died, but one of his time remnants survived and became, what was it, the Future Flash? The blue variation.
Yep.
And I think he got so insane trying to save Iris, he started killing Wally and everything. And the CW did take that storyline and make its own version of it through Savitar. But in the comics, it was the Future Flash. And I think it... Was it Barry or was it Wally in the comics?
It was. Are you asking like which one was Savitar?
No, which one was the Future Flash, not Savitar?
It was Barry.
Was it in the comics? I think it might have been Wally trying to save his sister. The comics.
I mean, there's a lot of storylines that go on.
Yeah, Future Flash is technically a villain. 11 died because I was late. The Speed Force is ruptured. I've been slipping for decades. The more I run, the more I lose. So I'm running back. I'm running back to fix all. Make sure. Oh yeah, it's just quotes. Barry, I am so sorry. I was arrogant. Please take a different path. Future Flash explains his motive. Future Flash DC Comics. Yeah, so it was Barry Allen. Okay. I thought it was Wally to a degree. But I think Wally stopped him.
Possibly.
Because I think in the comics he goes back and kills himself because himself tried to stop him from trying to save, I think, Iris or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wally had to stop Barry by killing his future self, and he was left without his sister and Barry. It was like a really dark timeline. We've got absorbs kinetic energy. I think the most famous viewing of that power is when he told everyone on Earth to run, so he could run, halfway across the universe faster than a teleporter.
Yeah.
So he told everyone on Earth to run so he could absorb all that kinetic energy and just bolted it. Quick healing, we know that. Phasing and vibrating, yeah, where you can phase through stuff. Super speed punch. Yes, throw lightning. All these are self-explanatory. We've seen them all before. Time travel. That's nearly every fucking comic he does that. Dimension and multiverse travel, which he can, but isn't really explained on how he can. It's just the same thing of him jumping into the Speed Force and coming out of it at a different point, different place. Got flash time. Just him having his perception go super fast. traveling at light speed. He can technically travel faster than light speed, so his power's kind of. But yeah, he's the fastest being in the universe. Nothing is faster when he.
Mm.
There's stuff that can keep up with him, but the Flash is the fastest. I think Wally West is the fastest Flash that we've seen.
Yeah, Barry created the Speed Force when he runs, while Wally mainlines the Speed Force when he runs.
Yeah. And then
There's a lot of different Flashes in the universe.
And the first power is just super speed, which is self-explanatory. But then again, all them powers in one fucking person.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Flash can solo anything he wants to, which is broken.
It very much is.
Because even if you think of characters in different universes, I want to say the Flash can definitely kill Superman. Like, there's no doubt about it.
If he really wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, like the Flash could end everything and anyone in a single thought. He is a scary character, and they've had to nerf him a lot with his.
That's why the reverse Flash is so dangerous, not just to Barry, but to everyone. Like Eobard Thawne has taken on the entire Justice League and won.
Yeah.
Which includes Superman and Wonder Woman. Like,
not just because he has the powers of the Flash, he's also extremely smart. I think he's 146 years in the future or something like that.
Something like that.
Which is broken. And a good segue to Flashpoint.
I suppose.
So
well, I guess, okay, with Flashpoint, it's a little difficult to explain, but it's also not. Okay, so the origin for Barry Allen is that the Reverse Flash went back in time and killed his mother and sent him on a collision course to all of the events that even led up to him becoming the Flash.
Are we talking about the CW show, or are we talking about the comics?
Both.
So, because the comics is a little different.
Because in the comics, like, there's a lot more into it. Like,
because the Flash
Eobard Thawne, basically.
Yeah, he has an origin story, but Flashpoint also changes his origin story.
Is it what? Oh, I just thought somebody was calling me.
Oh.
But yeah. So in the comics, is a little bit more. It's a lot more nuanced because it's different from like a TV show because it's more streamlined or
yeah.
But basically, what happens is Barry hit a breaking point and ran back in time to save his mother from dying, and that action created a separate timeline where the Flash didn't exist, and a lot of things happened that typically weren't supposed to happen. Like, for instance, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, they went to war with one another. Superman was captured by the government, and one of the more popular actions that happened because of Barry saving his mom was instead of Thomas and Martha Wayne dying and Bruce Wayne living on to become Batman, Bruce Wayne was murdered. Thomas Wayne became Batman, and his mom went insane and became the Joker.
Okay, I'm confused on what storyline you're trying to say. Are we talking about the animated movie?
Yeah. Essentially, that's what happens in the comics.
The Flash didn't go back in the animated movie, nor in the comics. So
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, Eobard Thawne, Professor Zoom, he was called, went back and saved his mother, changing the timeline so he never became the Flash. And then the Flash woke up where his mother was alive, the world is at war, and he tried to piece it all together, went to Batman for his help to understand what happened, had to get his powers back, because he wasn't the Flash in that timeline, and then reset it again.
That's literally what I said. Like, it's just...
But the Flash didn't go back in time to start it.
Yeah, he did. It's always been Barry who went back in time to save his mom. Like,
no, it was Professor
Eobard is the one who killed his mom.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, double check it because I know what I'm talking about. It's always been Barry who goes back to save his mom. It's never been Eobard.
Flashpoint paradox. Let's get the not the review. Let's get an overview. Okay, I don't explain it. Who goes back in time? Who changes? Because I know in the CW they do the Flash went back in time. Changes the timeline
Yeah.
first. The Reverse Flash reveals that Flash himself created a Flashpoint time travel back, stopping his mom killing Barry. Barry pulls the entire Speed Force to stop Wayne transforming the timeline started by his allies. Um,
hmm So yeah, what happened in the CW Flash is essentially what happened. It's just more toned down because you don't have characters like Batman or Superman or Cyborg or any of it.
oh, hold on.
What are you on, my dude?
No, I went into a deep path that the Flashpoint resulted in a Dark Side wall, which it did in the comics.
In a sense, it kind of did. In a sense, it kind of did. But like, no, if you're looking for the origin, it was not Eobard. I guess technically, yes, Eobard started all of this, but Barry's the reason he went back in time and um saved his mom's life, and because he saved his mom's life, all these things cascaded into a different timeline with like
Oh,
Bruce Wayne being dead and Thomas Wayne being Batman and Superman being like captured by the government, Aquaman and Wonder Woman being at war. There's a couple other
okay.
things.
So okay, I'm wrong and I'm right. um, so Barry did go back save his mother, and he was still the Flash, and everything was good. But when um, Ubad Thorne figured out that Barry did that, he went back and tortured Barry through his entire childhood, resulting in him not becoming the Flash until his present self from his past timeline went into his that timeline. He knew that he was the Flash and everything, and then started fighting him against. So Ebot Thorne basically tortured Barry after he created that timeline, which made him not be the Flash until his conscience catched up to that timeline and he realized, oh, he is the Flash. Um,
Yeah,
in the comics, Barry tried to stop it, but he couldn't stop it without help with John Constantine. But that was like the original Flashpoint that not many people know about. Um, so okay, so in the comics, Flashpoint, to undo the damage that Flashpoint did, they had to go back and prevent Darkseid from detecting. So there's, that entire storyline branches off into like 7 different storylines from the comics. But okay, sorry, I'm just catching myself up.
not drew up.
um, okay, but
But
yeah, yeah,
essentially, because if I'm not mistaken, Flashpoint is the start of the New 52,
yes,
and that's where you get stories like Flash Rebirth, a lot of stuff like just off the top of my head, big stuff that happened in New 52.
52
Batman, Court of
involved
the Owls, and Night of the Owls. Oh,
multiverses, didn't
well,
it?
let's just say Scott Snyder Batman because that's where all that stuff come from. Uh, I
Yeah.
would want to say Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. Um, and then we get a story called I believe it's Doomsday Clock, where it's revealed that when after Barry came back after stopping Flashpoint, because he actually went back in time, let his mom die, and then all the things essentially were supposed to go back to normal, but something happened, and that's what created the New 52. And Doomsday Clock reveals that it was the Watchmen and Dr. Manhattan who took 10 years from people's lives. And that's why you get the New 52.
Yeah. Because New 52 involved the multiverses, right?
I believe so. I believe the New 52 was supposed to be more like grounded and realistic.
Ah, yes, realistic.
Well, it's supposed to be like DC's attempt to mock what, not mock, but like imitate what Marvel did with their Ultimate Universe.
Yeah. Well, Marvel's always had the scientific, and there's always been a reason for their powers. DC, they just willy nilly with it.
Yeah, which is true.
Um, but yeah, this is Flashpoint. So, Flashpoint storyline. Flash saves his mother, goes back, Ubathon tortures him until the Flash realizes his past timeline, where he was the Flash and the Justice League existed and everything. And the war was happening between Atlantis and what's that place called now? Where's Wonder Woman from? What's the island called?
Themyscira.
Yeah, but what's the permanent name of it? It's Atlantis and what is it?
Themyscira?
No, it's the people. What is Wonder Woman?
And Amazon?
Yeah, it was Atlantic and Amazon war. And it's the war started off stupidly because what they were together and then they had different
Yeah.
viewpoints.
Basically what happened was people on both sides didn't like that Aquaman and Wonder Woman were a thing. So like it was like Aquaman's like sidekick, like Aqualad, and like Wonder Woman's like I think it was her friend Artemis. Like they like plotted to like make them not be together.
Yeah, which made them want to kill themselves or kill each other, I should say. And then they split off into a war, surrounded by a lot of misconstruction, and you had others, villains and stuff fighting in the war. I think what Deathstroke was there.
Mm-hmm.
We had Deadshot, Harley Quinn, John Constantine. Was Raven there?
Raven was not there. You're thinking of Injustice.
Mm. Um.
Like Raven, Deathstroke was there, but he was like a pirate.
Yeah. Cyborg was there, and Cyborg was a hero just on his own, basically.
Very much so.
Batman existed, but he only helped or tried to help Gotham, and then just failed and just sat with his misery of, "I'll do what I can, but everything else can go fuck itself" kind of mentality.
Essentially.
When the Flash got his memories back, he went to Thomas Wayne, thinking he was Bruce. And because Hubert Thorne was torturing him his entire life for saving his mother, the suit that he had on him was Hubert Thorne's suit. And that's when he put all the pieces together. That he thought Hubert Thorne started that timeline.
Yeah, but it was actually Barry who started the timeline.
A different Barry, but still Barry. I think it's so complicated to do. Barry didn't know he changed the timeline, and he thought Professor Zoom
because while he was in that timeline with his mom being alive and all these other changes, the changes to the timeline started to affect Barry's memory, so that's why he didn't remember that he was the one who did it. He just ended up thinking that Thawne did it. When Thawne just showed up at the end and was like, "Look what you did."
Yeah, and then after that, he needed his power back, and Thomas Wayne helped him get his power back.
Mm-hmm. He failed the first time, but it happened again, and he got his powers.
Yeah, and Hubert Thorne started stealing the Speed Force so much that Barry couldn't go back in time. He was taking a lot of the Speed Force up so Barry could manipulate it enough to time travel to fix the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to be the good guy and try to repair the world and try to stop the war between Atlantis and the Amazons by getting the help.
That's when I think that's when he went. It was like him, Thomas Wayne, and Cyborg. They went to go get Superman.
Yeah, because the Flash mentioned Superman and no one really knew him because it was a government secret, but Thomas Wayne knew that Cyborg was working for the government and would have access to those secrets. Once
Hmm.
Cyborg realized it, he turned against the government and helped the Flash and Thomas Wayne break into a secure facility and save Superman. And seeing Superman
And
skinny was mental.
emaciated, like he looked fucking anorexic because they kept him under the a red solar radiation light, which like negated his powers, so he never experienced the sun until they came in and rescued him.
Yeah, and then he had this power, and he was a kid when he got abducted. He didn't know how to speak, so he went, "Friend." Like that's all he really knew.
Hmm.
He was still a child, and he was tortured, and then he helped out the friends who saved him, and it was a really horrific sight. But they tried to get Superman to help the fight, and then Superman just flew off.
Because he had to experience his powers for the first time, and then he went to the sun, immediately started absorbing all of this solar radiation, and then came back while Wonder Woman and Aquaman are in the middle of a fight and decimated both of them. Like,
Yes, but um, Aquaman had provisions which would blow up the entire world. I think it was.
I believe so.
And he set it off before he got eliminated. And that was the time where Ubathon. No, Ubathon? Yeah, Ubathon met up with Barry and explained it while they were in a fight. Thomas Wayne got absolutely pummeled. The Flash and Ubathon fought. The Flash got wounded. And while Ubathon was giving his epic speech about how Barry actually caused this timeline, and he just nudged it along because he wanted to see him fail and be tortured.
And then Thomas Wayne just sneaks up behind him with an Atlantean sword and just stabs him in the back. You're like,
Yeah. And in the animated show, he just shoots him in the head. Right between the eyes.
mm-hmm.
Which
CW Flash was different because I think it was Eddie Thawne who like shot himself in the chest to sacrifice himself.
which made Ubathon not exist, but previous versions of Ubathon time traveling did exist, which made him survive that, which is so fucking mental.
Yeah, like the speedsters. It it sounds like it would be awesome to be a speedster, but also sounds like it would really, really, really suck.
Mm.
Like, not only would you have to be like everything would feel like moving 10 times slower to you because you're experiencing everything so slowly. But not just that, like apparently you age slower too as a speedster.
You do, because the Speed Force keeps regenerating
Alive.
you so much that your aging just slows a little bit. Plus, the one thing, if you had the speedster powers, anytime you used your powers, you would faint constantly unless you ate so much. And we'd be broke.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, being the Flash,
So
I knew I would have to rob so many people just for food alone.
so what's your while we're on the subject of Flashpoint, what's your favorite adaptation of Flashpoint? Comics, CW, or
The animated movie.
animated?
Ooh. The comics, I like the originality of it. I want to
Mm-hmm.
say the animated movie was the best adaptation of it by far. It portrayed it perfectly, and it led on to different things. Because Yubathon, yeah, he got shot in the head, but the Speed Force saved him, and you find that out in the Suicide Squad animated episode that Yubathon was actually saved, but still had a hole in his brain.
I think with the comics, I think that's my personal favorite. Don't get me wrong, I love the CW version, but like the CW version kind of stretched it out.
Which I think, because it was a TV show, they made it realistic to that TV show. Because
Yeah.
they didn't have Aquaman in that TV show yet. I don't think they didn't even have Supergirl yet, so no Superman was
No,
there.
I think it was literally just like Arrow. I mean, Supergirl was there. Like Supergirl, the show Supergirl was there, but she's like on what Earth 3.
Earth 30 something. I think it was 30 something. Yeah, because Jay Garrick is from Earth 3. Earth 2 was
Sure.
Zoom. I think it's Earth 34, I think, or something like that.
Which I mean, if you want to turn it into a thing where we watch like at least season one of the Flash, like
You know what? I'm down to rewatch The Flash and commentate over it.
I'm actually excited about that because like that would be a really good like thing to do. Like
Yeah. What was it? I was thinking of something. I lost it. The CW Flash version of Flashpoint Paradox was not bad in my opinion. It was good adaptation, and it carried on with the show storyline. Because the Flash
sure.
took a lot of the original stories and changed it to adapt to the show. Um, which I kind of liked because you had to do it for live action. There wasn't much they could really show. But I want to say the animated version was definitely better because they could put everything
One
into
second.
it. Oh,
Go down here and stop your clothes and we wash them
Mm.
because they're smelling.
Okay.
He's in trouble.
So yeah, he was outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. You in trouble.
Oh, don't mind that.
But yeah, I mean, what? The Flash as a character is broken as it is, and the Flashpoint Paradox made him vulnerable. Emotionally and physically. Which I think the animated show portrayed that perfectly. The animated movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Not gonna lie though, the animated movie, it did get to me when he went back in time after he fixed everything and gave Bruce a letter from his dad.
Oh, well, that part in the because that happened in the comics too.
Yeah, and you just see Batman cry, which is such a rare sight.
I think before that point he had never cried before.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? His parents died at a young age. He got traumatized by bats at the same time, and then became Batman years later. Didn't Batman get his, well, not powers, but did he train with what was it, the League?
That's Batman's traveled with a lot. That's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, because I think he was learning martial arts to help with his trauma, but then he went to, I think it was Ra's al Ghul that he trained under for a while. I think so. I might be wrong, but I think that no, he did the Dark Knight, the DC movies of Batman with what's that Batman now? I forgot the actor's name. You'll know it. The one with Heath Ledger Joker in it. Who was the Batman?
I don't remember. Michael. It's not Michael Keaton. No.
No, that was old. It's the Batman.
Christopher Nolan. Because Dark Knight Returns.
I'm gonna put Dark Knight Rises. He's Rises. Okay.
Yeah, look it up real quick.
It is Christian Bale. That's it. In the first Batman movie with Christian Bale in, I swear he goes to like a mountain in Tibet and trains under Ra's al Ghul. And then, yeah,
I think so.
because Ra's al Ghul was the League, which was the League of Assassins, and he was practically immortal. And the CW did a similar thing, but they did that storyline with Arrow instead of Batman.
Why?
Which wasn't bad.
That is not me. I went down and rewashed my clothes. Don't worry about that.
We're in the middle of recording a podcast, and this motherfucker's doing chores.
I had to. Apparently, it was smelling. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, which topic are we on? Are we on Dark Knight or are we on Flashpoint still?
One Flashpoint, but we've practically talked about Flashpoint And it's very similar, and everyone kind of knows, if you listen to this, they'll know the storylines of each one that we talked about. And we kind of clarified that. So now I'm kind of going into the Batman's powers as well as the Flash's powers. Not only the powers, but the abilities he has. So I don't know if Thomas Wayne went through the same thing Batman did. It's kind of implied, but not confirmed. Um, what is? I know this is an odd thing to go into a side thing, but what is the origin of Cyborg?
Yeah. Okay. Cyborg's kind of the I hate to say the butt of everybody's joke, but that's exactly what he is. He's basically a glorified iPhone, but his his hmm, if I'm not mistaken, he was like in some sort of accident because I think he started off as a quarterback
Yeah.
and then he got into like a really bad accident. His dad like was trying to save him, so he donated his body to science, and they basically rebuilt and resurrected him as Cyborg.
Because in the Justice League movie, he got his powers from the Mother Box. Which I
I
don't.
didn't realize he had powers.
Well, the Mother Box regenerated him and turned him into a cyborg, and he could manipulate technology and his own body into weapons and stuff. Similar to Blue Beetle, I'm not gonna lie. They're both very similar. um.
Yeah, but Blue Beetle's way cooler.
Oh yeah. Now Blue Beetle's up there as one of the coolest characters.
People only cared about Cyborg when he was in the Teen Titans 2003 show.
That is so true. Not gonna lie to you. Yes, I totally agree with that one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in Cyborg himself is a pretty cool character. The fact that he can manipulate technology, hack into nearly everything, is cool. The fact
I
that
mean, hell, even in what was it DC's zombie apocalypse thing story? He's the reason that people become zombies.
yeah, I mean, what his ability is like, he's got boombox, which is like a blast of sound waves or something like that. He can manipulate his body to turn it into cannons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I don't know. His origin story is a little nuanced to me, because all I know is what happened in the Justice League movie.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it's not like it's too important. Nobody cares about Cyborg.
That's so true. Um, but yeah, I mean, Euban Thorne got his powers from the Flash. Well, the idea of his Flash. He analyzed Flash, but he was also psychotic. And when he tried to save someone from creating a problem he created to be a hero, the Flash saved the people. He didn't get his chance to, and then he started hating the Flash. Which is just stupid, but when you're a sociopath.
Yeah, he found out he was going to be the Flash's greatest enemy, and apparently that's enough cause for you to hate somebody for like something that wasn't their fault.
Yeah. But I think the Flashpoint Paradox is one of the best, I think the best storylines for the Flash. Because it rewrites his origin story and changes the universe around him at the time. It's like a natural reset in the DC universe.
Mm-hmm. Well, until Doctor Manhattan, but
Yeah.
that's a topic for another podcast.
I mean, they did it in the show. Like, Diggle got a new daughter. Cisco's brother died. And stuff like that. You know, stuff was changed. Killer Frost became Caitlyn. Or Caitlyn became Killer
Mm.
Frost. The show did a good job showing the changes that he did. In the DC universe, the changes are more erratic between nearly every storyline. When it first came out in comic form, it changed a lot of the. It was only little tidbits of everyone's origins, but it changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I have to say, Marvel has not done to that degree. That subtle change in everyone's origin story from the same universe because of one person.
like Marvel will do it here or there, like retcon something from a character's existence, but those static changes, those will always stay the same.
Yeah. And it is baffling. Because it's so intriguing. Flash is so powerful.
It really is.
There's not much really to speak about the Flashpoint paradox now, is there? Like, we've kind of covered everything.
Mm,
'Cause,
yeah, for the most part, we kind of have covered everything. How long have we been going for?
we've been going for 14 minutes. So,
14?
40. um,
Oh, okay.
okay, so the films of the appearance for the Flashpoint paradox on live TV is the Justice League, the Flashpoint paradox, is what we really talked about. Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which has a flashback to Professor Zoom being part of the Suicide Squad, and he is after Flashpoint paradox, even though he died in it. It's just he never dies; he always comes back in a different form or time variant or whatever.
Basically, Barry Allen's Terminator.
Yeah, and the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, it mentioned Flashpoint Paradox because it was one of the reasons why that Darkseid came down
Hmm.
to Earth was because of Flashpoint Paradox. So we've got characters here. So we've got Barry Allen, Thomas Wayne Batman, Victor Stone Cyborg, Nifal Adams is Captain Atom. Atom was there. Superman, Billy Batson, Captain Thunder.
Shazam was kind of a weird scenario.
Wasn't he like? Because Shazam has different origin stories of him like being like 6 kids and then 1 kid,
Yeah,
and it's
in the Flashpoint universe, it was
I think it was 6 kids
I think it was
in one.
I think it was 6 kids, and they all yell Shazam at one point and become one person.
Yeah. Ukraine Chow, Pedro Pera, Dala Dudley, Freddie Freeman. Oh, these are all the kids' names, and then we've got Citizen Cold, which I do believe was Captain
Mm-hmm.
Cold, right? We've got Pied
Captain Cold, if
Piper,
he was your hero.
Enchantress, Sandman, and Shade was the featured Justice League characters in the Flashpoint Paradox. Atlanteans, we had Aquaman, Arthur Curry, Black Manta, which he was weird in that movie. Garth,
Black Manta's weird whenever he shows up.
Calda Mira, Nudis Volko, and then Ocean Matter, and Tula. Then for Amazons, we've got Wonder Woman, Artemis, Persephone. Yeah, I'm not saying half of these right. Minotaur and Cerberus. Minotaur, yeah. We've got Deathstroke's pirate crew, which involved Lex Luthor, Slade Wilson, Briggs, Clayface, the Eel, Fisherman, Icicle, Jenny Blitz, Man City, no, Mac Shitty, what I can't pronounce that, Scavenger, Sonar, and Tattooed Man.
Mm-hmm.
Such a weird crew.
Alternate timelines, alternate people.
We had the Resistance between the war, which was Lois Lane, Carter, Burry, Cricket, L. Etang? What? Etrigan.
Etrigan.
Yeah. Godvia, Grifter, and Miss Hyde. And for the rogues, we had Ubad Thorn and Digger Harkness, which is Captain Boomerang. And we had characters that were kind of mentioned and shown. It was Bruce Wayne, Hal Jordan, Stario, Harleen Quinzel, which is Yo-Yo, Abinsa, Bizarro, James Forrest, David Singh, which was, I think, what, Captain. He was mentioned.
Captain Singh, yep.
Elongated Kid, and Judge Dent, Iris West, Crypto, Nora Allen, Samuel Lane, Martha Wayne, which is Joker, the Laughing Joker, I think it was, right?
Martha Wayne, yeah, she was the Joker, yep.
But I think she was the Laughing Joker, if I'm correct in saying that.
I believe.
Martha Kent, Jonathan Kent, Joe Chill, Steve Trevor, President, and Padamons, whatever that is. Those are all the characters mentioned and seen in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, Flashpoint Paradox movie is one of the best animated DC movies I have seen.
Honestly, it's one of the most compelling stories ever written by DC Comics.
Oh yeah.
There were some characters in there that play a big role normally that we didn't mention, like Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Who's normally a Green Lantern.
He got mentioned but didn't see because Hal Jordan wasn't Green Lantern at the time, I don't think, was he?
No, basically what happened with Hal is that instead of becoming the Green Lantern, the guy who gave him his lantern, Abin Sur, he never died. Hal saved his life. So basically, in the war between the Atlanteans and the Amazons, Hal basically suicide bombed to stop them.
Yeah. And if you didn't know, the Flash and Green Lantern are besties.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that little advert that Grant Gustin and Ryan Reynolds did?
No.
Oh, okay. I need to show you this. You'll love it. I think you might have seen it before, but I'll pull it up.
Possibly.
Ryan Reynolds and Grant Gustin. They did an advert, and it had them both mention that they were DC characters. Hold on, let me switch my capture device to primary monitor. Okay, let me do that. There we go. Can you hear it?
Mountain is
Yes. Okay, now let me share my screen so my friend can see it.
I mean, all right.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready and I'll play it. Because it's one of those cliche, I love it, but I fucking hate it at the same time.
All right, I'm here.
Alright.
Mountain is transforming TV advertising by focusing on performance. And we've got an amazing team of people to do it, like Seymour Roaz. Tell people what you do here at Mountain, Seymour.
Well, I'm in charge of performance. We believe TV should be bought, targeted, and measured like search or social, the other performance channels.
That sounds fast.
Yeah, way faster than traditional TV buying, and it comes with real-time reporting.
Would you say that people could see results in a flash?
Yeah, I guess. Why are you staring at me?
I thought this would be more fun. You'll always be my Barry.
You'll always be my Hal.
That hurts, Seymour.
You'll always be my Hal. I remember this.
Yeah, it is. I love
Cheeky.
that. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I think we've covered everything for Flashpoint Paradox and where it leads off to.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else to really cover.
48 minutes, but I'm good to end it here if you are.
I mean, I am. I'm just sorry about all the commotion on this side.
Hey, when you gotta do your chores, grown ass man.
Chores, and I got hungry too, so you've been hearing me chew, kind of.
Yeah, people gonna love that ASMR.
Oh God! Please don't turn me into one of those channels.
Hey, we might not be able to stop it, knowing us. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything for Flashpoint.
I mean, hey, we covered Flashpoint. Next week will probably be more in depth and in control.
Yeah, this was a throw off because I'm not gonna lie, we both forgot but both remembered at the same time. Got confused about what topic we needed to talk about, and then
essentially we just did Flashpoint because we both know a lot about the topic.
And that was it, because we were rushing, because I was like, fuck, we got fucking podcast. Like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then we had to look at our list and went, fuck it, don't just do Flashpoint. That was it. Then we started doing it.
Good. Flashpoint. Next week we might hit up. Do you want to do Hydra Captain America? Because that was going to be the topic this week.
I need to research that. I don't know much about it.
It's an interesting kind of story.
Yeah. Also, we are thinking of something to rewatch Marvel, DC movies, animated movies, and react to them, and give, because we've seen mostly, if not all of them, so we would give our commentary over it about what we know about the movie and little tidbits and facts that we know where it comes from and stuff like that.
Essentially, yeah.
Which, will be fun to a degree. We'll see how it works, but we'll think about doing it. We might not. We probably will. It's just a lot of sorting it out, and a lot of copyright issues that I need to read up on. But yeah, that's for the future, though.
Totally for the future.
Yeah, I think that's it. You want to send us off?
Yeah. Totally. Well, sorry about this, crackheads. It's kind of a drop of throwaway kind of thing, but next time maybe we'll go back in depth and actually give Flashpoint maybe a little bit more justice.
I think we'll do that when we talk about the Dark Side War.
Oh, which don't get me started on that.
Because that's going to be a couple podcasts. I can tell that for damn sure. Because the Dark Side does mention the Flashpoint Paradox and its effects long term, which I think we'll go into a depth with it.
But yeah.
Yeah, and we'll
see you later, crackheads.
Paradox as well. Anyway, yeah. Peace.
But yeah, we should. Yeah. But peace out.
Peace. God damn it, this is such a throwing fucking episode.